When looking at what movie defined the horror genre back in 1930s Hollywood, you would have to look no further than Frankenstein. With a measly budget of $230,000, James Whale set out to create one of the most terrifying and interesting films cinema has ever seen. With this being a book-to-movie adaptation, Wales made sure to treat Mary Shelley's 1818 novel with as much respect as possible. All of this paid off when the box office came out, and it was revealed that Frankenstein made over $12 million during its theater run, 51 times the original budget. But how much money the movie made isn't as important as how influential Frankenstein came out to be. Today, 90 years later, Frankenstein is everywhere in pop culture. The monster was made into cartoons, advertisements, figurines, comic books, stuffed animals, cereal. Anyway, it is a crime to say that Frankenstein didn't shape how we watch horror movies today. But what is behind the movie is what I find most interesting to share. The hundreds of people who worked on the film behind the scenes. The hours and hours Boris Karloff spent in the makeup chair every day, lathering his face with plastic and rubber prosthetics. The constant attention to detail James Whale had when directing Frankenstein in regards to lighting and cinematography. The deeply coded writing about Whale's sexuality in 1930s Hollywood, showing that just because you don't fit into quote-unquote social norms, you are to be treated like an outsider. All of this leads to an experience 71 minutes long that is chock full of social commentary, expressionism, and most importantly, iconography. With this being James Whale's fourth movie ever made, it's impressive to think that he created the film we associate with creature features so early in his career. While it is somewhat overdone in today's horror movies, the connection between a monster and religion is not only horrifying, but also thought-provoking. And one of the most memorable scenes in the entire film, Colin Clive's character, Dr. Frankenstein, brags about being able to bring his patient back from the dead, exclaiming,
"It's alive! It's moving! It's alive! Oh, it's alive! It's alive! It's alive! It's alive! Oh, in the name of God! Now I know what it feels like to be God!"
It's chilling. The direction for the scene is masterful, putting the audience right next to the mad scientist so we know there is no turning back. Dr. Frankenstein is the biggest person in the room, and he has just brought a man back from the dead. The scene is written to look and sound biblical. James Whale, an openly gay man, connected his personal experiences to Frankenstein in a very beautiful and interesting way. While there has always been LGBTQ representation in Hollywood, in 1931, the representation was few and far between. In this scene in Frankenstein, we see Frankenstein admiring beauty and how beautiful it is. Whale brings humanity to the monster, showing that he is not all evil. Before Frankenstein throws the girl into the lake, he shares the first smile, and only smile, in the film. He never wanted to hurt the girl on purpose. He was brought into a world where everyone disliked him for a reason he cannot understand. He was chased, pushed, stabbed, punched, and finally set ablaze because the people around him didn't understand. He wasn't willingly brought into this world. He was forced. James Whale's Frankenstein is a masterclass of subtle writing, German expressionism, and iconic scenes that can be anyone's favorite. The film shaped the horror genre forever, and it put Universal Pictures on the map to be recognized as one of the pioneers of monster films. What came next in James Whale's career is nothing short of impressive, creating two more iconic horror movies for today's pop culture, The Invisible Man and The Bride of Frankenstein. Wales never lost touch with bringing humanity into horror.